open the content page. So we are in backup and restore classes, and in backup and restoration this topic we discussed about how to take the database backups, what are the different types of backup, and restoring, what are the different options to restore the backup. So and then recovery model and log architecture, like mainly log truncation, how the data will be truncated from the LDF file. So these things we discuss in this topic, backup and restoration topic. In today's class, we are going to discuss about data recovery methods. So we already know that, like, we are taking the backup on regular basis to protecting the data loss. In case if data is corrupted, we can use the backups to restore the databases. So that is the purpose we are taking backup on regular backup. So, like, what are the different ways the databases would corrupt, and what are the ways to restore the corrupted databases? These things we need to discuss in today's class. So, before jumping to the main topics, we have to note few important points. Those are, without restoring the full backup, we cannot restore any other backup. The first backup is the base backup or main backups to our databases to restore the other backup files. Right? The second important point is that whatever order we are taking the backup, the same order we need to follow to restore. We should not miss the order. That is the second important point. And the third important point, so when you have a multiple backup file to restore, then all the files we need to restore with the no recovery option, and the final backup we need to restore with the recovery. So these are the three important points. Before that, before doing the restoration, before starting the restoration, also better to validate the backup, whether backups are healthy or not. Right? So if using the verify only option, when you're taking the backup, no need to validate. Like if you're not enabling the validate backups during the backups taking, then better you can validate the backup before starting the restoration. So that's mean these are the four important points we need to keep in mind when you have a situation to restore the backups. Right? So let me open the document. So like almost we have 7 to 8 scenarios on backup and restore. I mean the data recovery situations. Like the first one is that, again, if you remember, like we are using the different backup schedule. Sometimes for mainly the database size is used. Generally, we prefer to take a day full backup, and every week full backup, either Saturday, Sunday, and remaining days we are taking the everyday differential backup. And so based on the RPO, recovery point of objective, that's mean how much data needs to be acceptable, data loss, acceptable data loss. Based on that, we are scheduling the log backup. If customer is okay with 1 hour, we can schedule the log backup at every 1 hour. So that is the one schedule: full backup, differential backup, and log backup. The second one is that only full backup and log backup, where the database size is normally less size, then usually we can prefer to go for everyday full backup and based on the RP recovery point of objective. So then we can do log backup. Right? So in these scenarios, the first we'll go with the when we have a full backup and log backup. So don't in the next scenarios will include a differential backup. In this scenario, just we look into the full backup and transactional log backup, transactional backup. The schedule is every day at 12 a.m. full backup, and every 1 hour we are taking the transactional log backup. And database was corrupted at 4 a.m. That's mean we have a 12 a.m. full backup, and every 1 hour till 4 a.m. That's mean 1 a.m. log backup, and 2 a.m. log backup, and 3 a.m. log backup, and 4 a.m. log backup. That's mean we have one full backup and four log backup. Yeah, the important point is that after completing 4 a.m. log backup, the database was corrupted, and no changes in the database after completing the 4 a.m. log backup. Please note these 2 points. Okay, when it comes to the recovery, so validating the backup that we have all the backups or not, and then the second one is that restoring the full backup with no recovery, and restore 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. log backup with no recovery, and the final one is that 4 a.m. log backup with recovery. So this way we can recover the database. Uh, So let's create the same situation so in our server, and we'll follow the same steps to record the data. So we here I just want to use the test DB to database. Here we can see the two tables, tab 1 and tab 2. Okay. So let me create one more table. Okay, now this database has three tables, tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Okay, so now we'll create the same schedule, whatever we discussed in the document. It's been every day at 12 a.m. full backup. So take full backup. Let me clear all the old backups. So yeah, okay, there is no backup in backup folder. 12 a.m. .bak. Which so that's mean 12 a.m. full backup has been generated. Here we can see the 12 a.m. full backup. The next one we need to take the log backup. So as per this schedule 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Take the log backup, select the transactional log and specify the location. So 1 a.m. log.trn. So generate the script. So here we have an option like whenever you take backup, verifying the backup and finish, it will automatically validate backup is healthier, but it is take little time. So that's the reason I don't want an earlier. I'm directly taking the log backup. So in the background, I set the script for log backup. So this is the 1 a.m. log backup, and I'm taking 2 a.m., 2 a.m. log backup, and also take the 3 a.m. and the next one is that 4 a.m. 4 a.m. is the final backup in our scenario. Okay. So that's mean in the location we have 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Okay, 4 log backups, 1 full backup. So the next step is that we need to corrupt the database. But in our scenario, in real time, there are many reasons for correcting the database. So those reasons are maybe somebody deleted data file and log file, then we cannot open the database. We can call it as a database corruption. The second one is that maybe due to antivirus or maybe some malware functions, again sometimes some data will be corrupted in the data file or log file. Again, that will also create the database corruption. The second one is that maybe disk corruption. So we already know that data files resides on the storage drive. That means disks. So if any reason the storage and drive or disk are corrupted again, we cannot access the data. The fourth one may be somebody deleted the database, unfortunately. Again, that we can call it as a data corruption. Okay, so whenever these situations happen, so as a DBA, what we need to do that we need to use the database backup files to record the data. So for in this scenario, so what I will do, I will delete the either data file or log file for correcting the database. Okay, so first we need to identify the file location. So we can use the SPN score help file, or maybe just go to the database properties and then go to the files. Here we can see that the file is located, data file and log files are located in uh, copy this location, control C, and go to the location, go to the file location. So here we have, so we are doing this scenario on test DB2 database. So here I want to delete the test DB2 file here, either log file or data file, anything. So it is saying that this action can be completed because the file is open in another program. That means, so whenever you want to delete the file, until if the database is in offline, we cannot uh, delete the files. So for this scenario, so we are using the delete files option to corrupting the database. So what I will do it here, I just put the database in offline, and then I will go on delete the files. Okay. So for putting the database offline, so right click on the database, task, and click offline. Take offline. If you want to use the command alter database name offline, drop all active connections and click OK. So now the database is offline. Offline in the sense simply can say that dead database. We cannot do anything. We cannot do any operations on the database. It is simply can call it as a dead database, but it is not deleted. The still database is in SSMS, but we cannot access the database. Now it will allow us to delete the either log file or data file. I'm deleting log file here. So just double right click on, and we can use the delete option. Now it's deleted. Now try to bring the database online. Go to task and bring online. It won't come to online because it does. I mean, it doesn't have the if. So we cannot expand the database. We cannot see the data. So we can say that simply can say the test DB2 was corrupted because we cannot access the data. We cannot see anything in this database. So when this kind of situation happen in real time, use the restore options to recover the corrupted data. Again, we need to depend on the backup files. Use backup files, we need to restore to recover the database. Validating the backup, once validation is completed, so for validating we can use the restore verify only command. uh, then once you're clear about like if all the backups are available like in the order, like you should not miss the order. If you ensure that all backup files are available and LD, then we need to start the restoration. In the restoration process, the first step is that restoring the full backup. For doing that, restore, go to task.
Malish, 1 second. So if we were given the same database in this scenario, so where to check what happened and how it happened, like something error log?
Yes, so that actually I want to cover it in the next scenario.
Okay.
Yes, so like what happened whether data file corrupted or log file corrupted. If you want to verify that, we can depend on the SQL Server error logs. Okay, so if you go to management, and the management we have error logs, and we can if we look into the error logs, then we can see that, and we can see that error message operating system 2, the system cannot find files specified, so C program files. So we can also use the command to verify that. If you feel the command is good to read, then you can better use the command. The command is sp underscore read error log, and you can change to text format and execute. Here we can see that, so starting a database, we try to start the database, and then after that we can see that error 17207 security level severity 16 state 1 operating system error, the system cannot find the file specified, and we can also see the file information. So that's mean based on the error log information, we can see that whether the problem with the data file and log file. So when we can start it, like we try to start it, that means started option is encounter yet, and then after that we got the error message. The error log is the best place to identify the, I mean, what is happening on the database.
So in this view, how do we know this? Are we connecting to test one or test DB2 or test DB1 or DBA test? Because how did you get the logs?
Yeah, here we can see that. So we are trying to put the database offline. So here we can see that entries. The database was offline, and then after that we started to online. Then we can see the started database name. Here we can see that. And again, another important point is that even in the error log, the file name imply that here we can see the test DB2, the DB2 underscore log that is related to the test DB2 database. So based on, so that's mean the always, like whatever error message you're getting, the previous error, previous event information also very important. We are starting the database, the starting of the database. If database is started, we can see the started the test DB2 entry, but here we didn't see that entry. And again, the second one is that based on the file information, based on the file information also, we can tell that this database has the problem.
Okay, can you show me the errors for a DBA test one database? How we check for test DBA test one in this mode?
So because here there is no problem with the test one and test two database, and because these are on online and then these are
Okay.
running fine.
So
If
SP
there is any
underscore read
errors,
error
then
SP read error log will show only for the database which is offline, right? Because we are querying master database.
I mean, error log is the centralized error
Okay,
record
okay,
for all the databases, not only for
okay,
master database. It's contain the all the information for the in the server, whatever error, like where users fail to connect or maybe detected. So all similar related information, you can see that it is a central location for all the databases. We don't have a yeah.
okay. Got it, Malish. Yeah.
So now the first step is that we need to restore the full backup. So right click, task, go to backup. Sorry, go to restore, task, restore data, and select the backup file to align full backup, and then come to the options. Options, like whenever you are selecting the full backup, we have to select the override the existing option. And we have a multiple log backups. Multiple backups needs to restore, so we have to select the restore with no recovery. And we can go with the default location, sorry, default file location, and in general tab, the source and destination database name. It will automatically pick the destination database name. So just simply you can click OK. So the next full backup has been restored. Then after that, we need to restore the all the log backup, transactional log, and select the log one, options, no recovery, and generate the script. So log one has been restored, and then after that we need to restore the log two. So when you generate the script, no need to do all the same steps. Just we can update the file information, and we can directly execute it. That's mean 2 a.m. log has been restored, and 3 a.m. and the final one is that 4 a.m. Right? So 4 a.m. So this is the final log backup. There is no other log backups after 4 a.m. So when it is a lost log backup, so we can go with the restore with recovery and execute. Refresh the databases, and if you go to the test DB2, then we can see tab 1, tab 2, tab 3 we created. Before corrupting, this database has these tables. Now it has the same tables, right? And it is functioning. We can enter into the database, we can see the tables, we can see all the tables information and everything, right? So this is the procedure we need to follow. Like when you're preparing for interview, so this is the one of the important interview question. Like what are the steps, what are the ways we can recover the corrupted database using the backup. Okay, we have to tell that. So first we have to verify whether all the backups are available or not. We need to validate it, and if all the backups available and healthy, then we have to restore the full backup with no recovery. Then after that, whatever log backups are there, so then all the log backup we need to restore with the no recovery, and the final backup we need to restore with recovery to bring the database online. So this way we can tell an interview point of view. And again, we can follow the same steps when we have this kind of situation. So that's about the first scenario. So moving to the next scenario. Again, so in this scenario also we are using only full backup and log backup schedule. That's mean every day at 12 a.m. full backup and every 1 hour transactional log backup. And the database was corrupted at 4:15 a.m. That's mean so 12 a.m. we have full backup, 1 a.m. we have 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. also we have log backup. And after that they inserted some data between 4 to 4:15. So this data will come at 5 a.m. log backup, but unfortunately database was corrupted at 4:15. That's mean as per our like we are scheduling the log backup at every 1 hour. So the customer should accept 1 hour data loss because the schedule is depend on the 1 hour. So RPO is 1 hour. But this scenario, customer is saying that we inserted very critical data after 4 a.m. So at any cost, we try to record all the data. We don't want to lose 15 minutes data. Try to bring the all the data. But as per our standard, customers should accept 15 minutes, 1 hour data loss. But here the data loss is 15 minutes. But some reason, some business criticality is requesting us to record all the data. So now we can recover this kind of situation. So when you have this kind of situation, before before confirming to the customer, we need to verify whether there is an option to recover all the data or not. Okay. So the data recovery option, the data recovery thing is totally depend on log file availability. If log file availability, then we can there is an option to record all the data, all in our case 15 minutes data. But if log file is not available, so we don't have any option to record the 15 minutes data. So we must accept the 15 minutes data. There is no other such option to record the data. So when you have this kind of situation in real time environment, so first thing what you need to do then, whether LDF file is available or not. If LDF file is available and if it is allow us to take the tail log backup is playing very important role. So tail log backup is the lost log backup when the database is corrupted. Those kind of scenarios, we are taking the tail log backup is the lost log backup to recover all the kind of data. We'll also understand the importance of tail log backup in this scenario. Okay, got it. So that means when you have this kind of situation, verify whether LDF file is available or not, and whether it is allowing us to take the tail log backup. These are the two things we need to do that. If these two things are available when it's working, then we can commit to the customer. There is an option, so we will try to record all the data, and then we have to record the uh, database using the backups. Right. So here the point is that where we can verify whether data file corrupted or log file corrupted. To verifying this information, we need to depend on the SQL Server error logs. In the error logs, we can see that which file is which file is corrupted, which file is creating the problem. If the data file or log file, that information we can find in the SQL Server error logs. Okay. So first, what we'll do then, we'll create a scenario, and then we follow the correction steps, and then we can follow the recovery steps. So again, here I want to use the same database for this scenario. The testDB2 database. Again, here it has 3 tables: tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. And let's take the full backup based on the schedule. Backup. So 12 a.m. full backup. Backup has been generated. Now we need to take 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. log backup. Ensure to select the right backup type by the location. 1 a.m. log.tir. So now I'm taking 2 a.m. Just I'm specifying, changing the name, the location and database and everything is same. 2 a.m. is done and 3 a.m. has been completed. And then come to the 4 a.m. is also completed. And if you go to the backup location, we have 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Okay. Now, as per scenario, so the database was corrupted at 4:15, right after generating 4M log backup. They inserted some important data. Then after that, the database was corrupted. So again, so we'll insert some data before corrupting the database. Okay, so currently DB3 database table, sorry. Select star from tab 3. It has one record now. So what I will do that, I'll insert the use amount of data. So this is the command to insert the use amount of data in a table with the same data which is existing in tab 3. So don't worry about table creations or these kind of operations. So this is done by the development team. We are not responsible for creating any business related tables or application related tables in a database. Okay, now see the count. So previously it was contained record. Now it almost I think almost 20 lakh records it has now. Okay, so then so generally this data, I mean this data will come to the 5 a.m. logback count, but before 5 a.m. the data was corrupted. So I'm not taking the this data backup. That just I inserted the 2 million records data, and then I just directly go and corrupt the database. Okay. So for corrupting the database, so what we need to do that we have to put the database in offline. Take offline, enable this option, drop all active connections, because if the database is has any active connections, we cannot put the database in offline. So that's the reason we have to drop all active connections. We'll kill all the connections and it will come to the offline. Okay. Now it will allow us to, we cannot see the data, and it will allow us to delete the data file. So in this scenario, I just want to delete the data file. So just a DB2 test is, I think this file is using by the other database. So now we have test DB2 and there is a one more data file test DB2. So that I was deleting. Okay. And try to bring the database online now. So here the status is the recovery pending, and so we don't know that, like, see whether the problem with the data file or log file or disk. So as I said that either data file deleted or corrupted, or LA file corrupted or deleted, and again disk corruption, like if disk is not accessed by the SQL server, or maybe disconnected from the operating system. So these kind of situations happens and we cannot bring the database online. Usually we can see recovery pending. So again, so for identifying which file is creating the problem, so go to the use the error logs sp underscore read, and use the text mode for easy to read. And again here we can see that which file is creating the problem. So In previous scenario, we deleted the LDF file, but this scenario we deleted the MDF file. So the error is pointing the MDF file. Open failed, could not open file, file name, location, OS error 2, generally 32, error number 252 is a kind of error message we can see. So there is no error messages related to data LDF file. So that might be problem. So we can assume that there might be problem with the data file. So what we can do that we can go to the location. There also we can see that whether the db2 log file is available or not. That also we can verify. So the second, maybe sometimes we don't get the whether LDF file is available or not. Maybe if we don't identify that information, again, no need to worry about it. The next step is that whether it is allowing us to take the tailor backup or not. Usually tailor backup is allowed when LDF file is available. If LDF file is not available, we cannot take the tailor backup. So some scenarios, like again, no need to spend time for whether the LDF file is available or not. We can directly try to take a tailor backup on the for the testdb2 database. Take a new query on the master database and take the tailor backup command. So in this scenario, we cannot take the tailor backup using the GUI mode. So we need to depend on the um, command. The command for taking the tailor backup is backup log database name testdb2 backup log database name to disk equal to path c backup tail log dot tr, and with no underscore, with no underscore truncate we have to use. So with the no underscore truncate, if you're not specifying, it will take it as a log backup. But in this scenario, we have to take the tailor backup, not log backup. Command syntactically correct. So we are taking the tailor backup. The tailor backup is generated. Cool. So this is the first step. So where there is a situation to record all the data. Again, back to the previous class, we discussed about the recovery models, right? Full recovery model and bulk log recovery model. There is a one important point is that so when the database in especially in the full recovery model, so maybe we lose the minimal data loss or no data loss. So that's mean the point is totally depend on the LDF file availability. If LDF file is available and if it is allow us to take a tailor backup, we don't lose any data. If we're not doing this kind of these two operations, maybe we will lose the some data like here in this scenario 15 minutes data, right? So that's the point we have to keep in mind. So when back to the recovery models. So it is also applicable for bulk log recovery model, but if you do the bulk operation, the particular time if database is corrupted, there may be more chances, more data loss when comparing with full recovery model. Okay. Now then back to the scenario. The first step is that when you want to recover all the data, then always we need to depend on the log backup and we try to take a tailor backup. Once completed this one, then we have to start the recovery procedure. The first step is that always restoring full backup. Restore full backup with no recovery. And restore with no recovery. Restore the full backup. Full backup has been restored. And the second one is that all the log backup you need to restore with no recovery option. No recovery and generate the script and start restoration. and then the second 2 a.m. log backup. So as per recovery procedure, so all the log backup we need to restore until the last log backup. In our case, the last log backup is a tail of backup. So we have to restore the tail of backup with the recovery option. 2m has done. Now we have to restore the 3m. 3m has been done. Now 4m log backup. 4m log backup is also restored. Now the final backup is tail of backup. log.trn, and this is the last log backup. So I'm using with recovery option. Because it contains some huge amount of data. Okay. So that means 27,000 pages information it is get from log file. Test db2 and then go to tables. You can see all the tables. You can and verify the data on the tab 3. Let's start select on. Now we have same record, 2 million records information we recovered. So if you're not able to take the tail of backup, then we cannot recover these 2 million record. Okay, that's the important those kind of scenarios we are using the tail of backup. Normally we don't prefer to take the tail of backup. When there is a situation to record all the data, the time we can prefer to take the tail of backup to recover all the data. Correct. So these two scenarios applicable for full backup when the schedule has full and transactional backup. If we're clear about these two, then move to the third one, third scenario. Third scenario is that including different backup. Every week Sunday 12 a.m. full backup, and every day at 12 a.m. So every week Sunday on Sunday at 12 a.m. full backup, and every day at 12 a.m. differential backup. That's mean uh, Monday to Saturday because we have full backup on Sunday. So Monday to Saturday, every day at 12 a.m. differential backup, and every 2 hours transactional backup. Okay. So if you have this kind of schedule and databases and if database corrupted, how we can, what are the steps we need to follow to record the data? Okay. So let's create the same create the backup based on the schedule, and then we'll start the recovery procedure. Again, the schedule is that every week Sunday on 12 a.m. Every week on Sunday at 12 a.m. full backup, and Monday to Saturday every day at 12 a.m. differential backup, and every 2 hours we are taking the log backup. And database was corrupted on Wednesday at 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. the database was corrupted. So we have to use all the backup to record the data, whatever data till Wednesday 6 a.m. all the data we need to recover it. Again here another important point here I'm emphasizing that the database was corrected at 6 a.m. There is no other data, there is no other change happening after 6 a.m. log backup. Just note the point. Okay, we're clear about the scenario. Now we'll follow the same steps to take the backup based on the schedule. Again here I want to use the same database testdb2. Here I want to delete this table because it has a huge amount of time huge amount of data, and it is taking time to complete the backup. Okay. Right. Let me clear all the old backups. So take the full backup on Sunday. Backup, full backup. Yeah. Sunday 12 a.m. full of BAK. Okay, so after 12 a.m. Sunday full backup, that's mean every 2 hours log backup will be generated, right? Sunday 2 a.m., Sunday 4 a.m., Sunday 6 a.m. So every 2 hours log backup will be generated. So in this scenario, so we don't need to take all the log backup. Just I want to take only 1 or 2 log backup. Transactional log backup and specify the Sunday 2 a.m. log generate the script. Oh, sorry, it's sorry, I selected. Okay. Sunday 2 a.m. log.pr. Let me delete this one. Okay, this is the command for taking the log backup. Backup log database name to this path. We don't need this one. Okay, so I'm executing 2 a.m. log backup, but assume that we have many log backups because I want to take here only one log backup between Sunday 12 a.m. full backup to Monday 12 a.m. differential backup. But between these two full and Sunday full backup and Monday differential backup every 2 hours where uh, we have every 2 hours log backup. But here I'm taking only the uh, only 2 m log, one log backup. But assume that we have multiple log backup. The second one is that so now we have 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m. So we have and then we come to the Monday 12 a.m. and Monday 12 a.m. we have differential backup. Despite the differential backup, Monday 12 a.m. Monday 12 a.m. differential backup. Generate the script. So that's mean we are generating the 12 a.m. differential backup. After 12 a.m. differential backup, again when Monday 12 a.m. differential backup to Tuesday 12 a.m. differential backup, we have every day log backup. Okay, so interest of time, just I'm taking only one log backup between Monday 12 a.m. differential backup to Tuesday differential backup. Monday 2 a.m. log.drm. Right? And again, assume that we are at Tuesday 12 a.m. Okay, Tuesday 12 a.m. differential backup will be generated. So, okay. Tuesday, we need to take the Tuesday 12 a.m. differential backup. 12 a.m. back with the differential. That's mean we have 12 a.m. Tuesday backup. Then after that, every 2 hours log backup will generate till Wednesday 12 a.m. differential backup. Again, interest of timing, so just I'm taking only the one log backup between Tuesday to Wednesday. Now assume that we're back to Wednesday 12 a.m. Wednesday 12 a.m. backup, full backup, differential backup will generate. Okay, we took the Wednesday 12 a.m. differential backup. So as for scenario, when the database were corrupted, it was corrupted at 6 a.m. That's mean we have to take 3 log backups: 2 a.m. log backup, Wednesday 2 a.m. log backup, Wednesday 4 a.m. log backup, and Wednesday 6 a.m. log backup. So let's take 3 log backup. 2 a.m. Wednesday 2 a.m. log backup, and 4 a.m. log backup, and 6 a.m. log backup. After complete the 6 a.m. log backup, the database was corrupted. Right? So no any other no changes happen after 6 a.m. and customer is happy to record the data till 6 a.m. Okay. So now we have to start the recovery procedure. Before recovery procedure, what we need to do that we need to corrupt the database. Before that, we have a backup. Like we have Sunday 12 a.m., Monday differential, and then after that, few log backup between uh, Tuesday differential backup, and we have few log backups after before 12 a.m. differential backup. And after completing the 12 a.m. differential backup, we have 2 a.m. log backup, 4 a.m. log backup, and 6 a.m. log backup. Right? We have all the available. We have all the backup to restore it. Okay. The next step is that we'll corrupt the database. Okay, so what we need to do that for corrupting? So we have to put the database in offline. Okay. Now I'm deleting LDF file. Any file you can delete. Just I'm deleting LDF file. Okay. Like if you're trying to take a Taylor backup, it won't allow us now because LDF file is deleted. So backup allow. Let me bring the database. Try to bring the database offline. Now just first just understanding purpose, I'm trying to take the DB2 Taylor backup. Test DB2 is equal to auth backup taillog.trn with no underscore. Command is syntax. Here we can see that could not active or scan all the log files for database test DB backup log terminating abnormally. That means when LEF not exist or corrupted, we cannot take the Taylor backup. When you want to take a Taylor backup, we have in the log file LDF file should be available. Okay. So in our case, in this case, we deleted the LDF file, so we cannot take Taylor backup anyway. No need to worry about because we have a 6 a.m. log backup. Customer is happy to record the data till 6 a.m. Okay. Now you're clear about we corrupted the database. Now the final step is the starting the recovery procedure. So in the recovery procedure, when including differential backup, so what we can do that what is the advantage of when we're having the differential backup is we can directly restore the lost available differential backup. In this scenario, that means we need to restore the Sunday 12 a.m. full backup. Then after that, we can directly go to the Wednesday 12 a.m. differential backup. We can ignore all previous backup because if you remember when you discussed about differential backup, the last differential backup contained all the changes, all the modifications uh, 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 till the I mean since the last full backup. So that means this 12 a.m. differential backup contain all the changes since the 12 a.m. full backup. So in this case, we can directly restore the after restoring the Sunday full backup, we can directly restore the Wednesday 12 a.m. differential backup. Then after that, whatever log backups are there, all the log backup we need to restore. Okay, we'll follow the same. So let's go to the database and restore the full backup first. Restore database device. Select the file that is a Sunday full backup. And then go to options, override, and then go to no recovery option and generate the script. Okay, and restore it. We selected the no recovery option. So full backup has been restored. So now we can directly go to the lost available differential backup. In our scenario, Wednesday 12 a.m. differential backup is the lost available backup. Lost available differential backup. We can directly restore the Wednesday 12 a.m. differential backup. File name is Wednesday 12 a.m. diff. You can follow the same full backup command, and we selected the no recovery here and restore. Okay. So then after that, whatever log backups are there, those log backup we need to select. After Wednesday 12 a.m., we have three log backups. Restore transactional backup from file at tape. Select the file that is Wednesday 2 a.m. log.trn. No recovery option. Next again. So 2 a.m. log backup has been registered with no recovery, and then 6 a.m. Sorry, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. has been registered with no recovery, and the final one is 6 a.m. When selecting the 6 a.m., we can go with the recovery option and refresh. Now the database is back to online, and we can see the table information here, right? So that means the advantage of using the differential backup is that it will reduce the time for restoration process, because we can directly go to the lost available differential backup, right? So that is about the third scenario. But here a few cross questions generally will get an interview point of view. So the first question is that what about if your lost differential backup was corrected? So in this scenario, the lost differential backup is on Wednesday 12 a.m. Right? If lost differential backup is corrected, what we can do then, the previous available differential backup we can use it. So in this case, we can use the Tuesday 12 a.m. differential backup. So so after restoring the Tuesday 12 a.m. differential backup, we need to restore it. That is the first question. And the second question is that what about if all the differential backup is corrected or maybe somebody deleted? We have a Sunday 12 a.m. full backup, and we have all the, but we have somebody deleted all the differential backups or maybe corrected. We have only log backup. In this scenario, what we need to do that after restoring the Sunday 12 a.m. full backup, then all the log backup, since the full backup, all the log backup we need to restore to bring the database online. Okay, that is the second important question. The third one is that what happened if my full backup was deleted? Okay, so, but we already know that without restoring full backup, we cannot restore any other backup. But some reasons, maybe somebody deleted the Sunday full backup, or maybe corrected the backup file corrected. In this scenario, what we need to do that? In this scenario, what we need to do that? We have to use the previous week full backup. So that's mean we took the uh, so that's mean in our case, if you 10th 10th May full backup is deleted somebody, then previous week full backup we have to use it. That's mean third the previous Sunday full backup we have to restore, and then and Saturday differential backup we can directly restore. Then after that, whatever log backups are there, all the log backup we need to bring the database online. So this is also another important entry question. You lost your uh, the main full backup, the current week full backup. So what we need to do that? We need to depend on the previous day previous week full backup, then the last available backup. Generally, last available differential backup is on Saturday. We need to restore the Saturday differential backup. Then after that, whatever log backups, all the log backup. That's mean after completing the Saturday differential backup, whatever log backups are there, all the log backups we need to restore till Wednesday 6 a.m. log backup in our case. Right? So these are very important cross questions interview point of view. Okay. So if we're clear about it, then moving to the final scenario. Final scenario is also related to differential backup, but here the time is different. Like the same every week, Sunday 12 a.m. full backup, and every uh, day to Saturday at 12 a.m. differential backup, and every 2 hours transactional backup. And database was corrupted on Wednesday at 6:45 a.m. Till 6 a.m. log backup would be available, and then sorry, and the next log backup will generated at 6 a.m. But the database was corrupted at 6:45. Here, just we need to follow the Taylor backup concept. So take the Taylor backup and follow the same steps and restore the Taylor backup. Okay. So just only the Taylor backup concept is important. We already know in the second scenario how to use the Taylor backup and how to restore. So we can apply the same steps to record all the data. But here another important point is that maybe in interview point of view, they don't say that when LDA file is available or MDA file available. So when they're giving the scenario, like my database is corrupted and so on so time, but you have to restore the record all the data. What are the steps you're following? The first step, whether I mean they're giving the specific time or not giving the specific time, the first point we have to highlight it in interview point of view is that we have to try to take a tail of backup. If it is allowed, that would be fine. If it is not allowed, then we can ignore it. But the first important point we have to tell in interview point of view, or even if you want to record the data, if customer is saying that recording all the data or not, but sometimes the customer didn't aware of that. So we try to take a tailor backup. Okay, try to take a tailor backup, verify all the backup. If all the backups are available, then start the recovery procedure, restore the full backup, and restore all the available log backup. And if you are using differential backup, restore the last differential backup and continue the available log backup. And the final backup is Taylor backup, because if it is allow us to take the Taylor backup, and if we took the Taylor backup, restore the Taylor backup with recovery to bring the database online, right? So very important. I mean, if you practice these things, then we will be get more confident on backup and restoration. Right? Very useful, and we'll get more hands-on experience and more confident on backup and restore and recovery procedures. Now these scenarios are depending on using the backups. Okay, we have one more scenario. Maybe if somebody deleted all the backup, then how we can record the data? Is there any possibility to record the data or not? That will also discuss. So before moving to that scenario, another important scenario is that point in time recovery, because we talked about point in time recovery in discussing about recovery models. Right? We have three recovery models: full recovery model, bulk log recovery model, and simple recovery model. Simple recovery model, point in time recovery not possible, and full recovery model it will possible, and bulk log recovery model it may or may not be possible. If you do the bulk operation during the time, we cannot take that. If you're not doing bulk operation, it will again we can do the point in time recovery. So we'll see that how to do the point in time recovery. So that the I think it's a fifth scenario. So this let me clear the backup first. So we will also use the same database for doing the point in time recovery. Okay, so let's describe this scenario here. It's mean every day 12 a.m. full backup and every 1 hour transactional backup. We have successful log backup on successful log backup on 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. User asking us to record the data 2 a.m. 45 minutes 56 seconds. Okay, so that means we're specifying the time. So we have 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., but our customer is now asking us to restore the data till 2 a.m., 45 minutes, 56 seconds. Okay, I'll see that how to do that. So first I'll create the backup schedule, and then we can follow the recovery, the point in time recovery. Again, here I want to use the same database, testdb2 task backup 12 a.m. and take the 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. log backup. Task backup. Select the when practicing, you have to ensure to select the log back, right backup type. Maybe if you forget, the restoration recovery procedure will not happen properly. So ensure to select the proper backup type. 1 a.m. log.tr. So that's mean, and then so in our scenario 1 a.m. means 11 4 11 4 a.m. Okay, so that's mean we took the log backup now 1 a.m. log backup at 11:04. Now we have 11:05. Assume 11:05 means 2 a.m. So okay. We took the 2 a.m. log backup as well. So that's mean 2 a.m. in our case 2 a.m. means 11:05 a.m. So what we'll do then, we'll delete the table for understanding point in time recovery. We'll delete the table at 11:06 and 3 a.m. log backup will take at 11:07 a.m. Now 11:06. So what I will do that I'll delete the table. For deleting, just right click and delete. That's it. Okay. So assume that understand that. So 1 a.m. means 11:04. We took the log backup. This is the 2 a.m. 2 a.m. log backup. That's mean in our case it's 11:05. And deleted table at tab 1 at 11 a.m. 11:06 a.m. And when it comes to 11:07, we'll take the 3 a.m. log backup. Okay, now 11:07 and take the log backup. So in real-time environment, there are two ways to do the point-in-time recovery. Sometimes some reason they will specify the time. They will specify the time to record the data. So they knows that what time what happened, uh, and they specify the time and ask us to do the restoration. Sometimes what will happen? Maybe they are not aware of about what time something has happened. Maybe table deleted or something. They will ask us to some tables was deleted, and please try to record the table data. So I mean finding the table and recovering the data. So they'll ask that. In this scenario, so what we for identifying the table deletion information, so we can go to the database reports, we have schema change reports, schema change history. So there we can see the table deletion information, creation information. Okay. So tab one created on 11 so and so time, and here we can see the drop. The table was dropped at 11:06:18 seconds. This means at this time the table was deleted. It's mean before this time. That's mean 5/11/2020 11:06:17 seconds. The table was delete. Table was exist in the database, but at 18 the table was deleted. After this time the table we cannot see it in a database. So in this scenario what we can do then, we can use the time step here, the whatever time it is deleted, we can 1 second previous time we can use to do the point in time recovery. And you get it, like when they're specifying the time to recover point in time, so no need to worry about it. But when they're saying that some tables was deleted, finding the table deletion information and record the data, or record those tables, restore those tables. And that when you have this kind of situation, we can go to the schema change report. There we can find the when the table was deleted, the previous deletion, previous time we can use to record the time. Here we have to use 11:06:17 seconds. Okay. Now follow the restoration. The restoration step is that first we need to restore the full backup. Task restore and database. Full backup and restore with no recovery. Close connections and select the restore with no recovery. So full backup has been restored. Then after that we need to restore the log backup. We need to restore 1M log backup, and select the no recovery option and generate the script. So we need to restore 1M log backup with no recovery. We also need to restore the 2AM. But then the timestamp is between 2AM log backup and 3AM log backup, right? So when comes to the between, so in our case we have to restore 2AM log backup and the 3AM log backup. 2AM log backup happened at 11:05 and then uh, the 3AM log backup happened at 11:07. So using 3 a.m. or maybe last log backup at 11 a.m. 11:07 log backup, we have to specify the point in time. So again, so point in time recovery you can do using graphical method, or you can also use the command. So let's use the graphical method, transactional log, and select the 3 a.m. log backup in our case. And here in the bottom we can see the point in time option. Okay, so click this option and specify the time here, that is 11:11. So in our case 11, I think what time it is deleted. Let me go back to the file database. I think 11:70. Do you remember what is this time? I think 07:06. Yeah, correct. So 11:06, 18 seconds. The table was deleted. So the previous second time we can use it. So here I'm using 11:06:17 time I'm using. Click OK. And then this is the final backup. So we can go with the restore with recovery. Okay. So if you click OK, then the table will comes to the database. If you want to see the command, so this is the command: restore log database name, and then specify the log backup, which we want to use it for specifying the time. And then here we have to use the parameter stop at. Stop at means point in time. That's mean year, month, hour, minutes, uh, year, month, date, hours, second, minutes and seconds. So maybe you can get this question in interview point of view. What is the command for doing the point in time recording? What is the option we need to use it? We have to tell about stop at year, month, date, hour, minutes, and second. Okay, and this is the final one. So there is no other files, right? So we can go with recovery and sorry and execute it. So if we go to the database now, we can see tab 1 and tab 2. And so that way we can do the trending. So point in time recovery. If they are specifying the times, no need to worry about what time we need to recover or not. So they're not specifying the times. If they're asking us to finding the what time the table was deleted, which table is deleted, then we have to use the schema change history and to find the table information and what time it was deleted. And previous time we have to use to do the recovery. Okay, and that's about the point in time recovery. So but when you're doing in the production servers, so what we need to do that we should not do that because so we are restoring the data till this time, so it is applicable for all the tables in a all the data in a database, not only for tab 1. So that's maybe maybe after 245, as per scenario 245 or 56 seconds after the time, maybe some other changes happen on the database, that maybe those changes happen on the other table, so those data we will lose in. So what we need to do that when you have this kind of situation in real time environment on the production servers, we have to take all the backups on the development server and restore the all the backups and after completing the point in time restore, whatever table is deleted, only those table we have to move from development to production server. Like how to move the only specific table from one server to another server, that will come to the, I mean, that we'll discuss in the Wednesday class. Okay, and so just point in time in the sense specifying restoring into a specific time. Maybe sometimes they'll ask that what table is deleted and then delete the deleted tables. So then we have to find the table information, delete information, and we have to use the point in time recovery. But when this is the kind of similar situation is happening in real time environment, when instead of doing directly in the production server, we have to select the development servers and do it in once complete the restoration in the development server, and the table or tables or maybe table or storage that we need to move to the production server using import export, or maybe we have 4 or 5 methods. Using one of the method we can move the table from development to production server. Okay, clear. So that's about the point in time recovery, and we completed 5 scenarios. And if you have any doubts, you can feel free to ask me. If you don't have anything, then we'll go to the final scenario for user defined databases. So that is database corrupted without any backup. So sometimes maybe if we don't have any backup and if we have a situation to recover or we can recover, that we'll discuss now. Okay, and this is the sixth scenario, and then we have a one more like phase restore. If you have a time, then we'll discuss, or maybe probably we'll discuss tomorrow. Phase level restore, we'll discuss phase level restore on sixth scenario, that is database corrupted without any backups. Okay, so let's do that. I'm deleting all the backups. So now we don't have a backup for testdb2 database. Okay. I'm connecting this database task take offline. Now it is offline, so we can delete the data file or log file. Okay. Here I'm just deleting LDA file, not data file. And try to bring the database, and it won't come to online. It is in recovery pending it. Okay. So in previous scenarios, so what we did, we use it. Using backups we recover, but in this scenario there is no backup. So how we can do that? So we have a 6 steps to record the data. So these are the 5 steps. I think 6 steps we need to execute on the server to bring the database online. But these steps only we can perform when MDF file data files are available. If LDF file is if data file is corrupted, we cannot use these methods. That means when you when you when you are in a situation to record the data, and if the database doesn't have backup files, okay, so what we need to do that, whether data file corrupted or log file corrupted. If data file corrupted for any reason, we don't have any option to record the data, so we would lose the all the data. But if LDF file corrupted, or maybe the database in the data file, we know that the data file contain or combination of the pages. If any page is corrupted, one page or two pages, three pages corrupted, we can recover. If data file corrupted, entire data file corrupted are not accessible, we cannot perform these steps. Okay. The first step is that we have to enable the flag sp reset status and in the database name. In our case, the database name is testdb. Enable it, reset status. And the second step is that alter database name, set emergency db2. So there is a one status for this. So when the database in emergency state, it will allow us to do few operations. Like we cannot do all kind of operations, but it will allow us to do some emergency options like put this database in single user mode, multi-user mode, and checking the integrity check, data integrity. So these operations we can do that. Okay. So it is, it is in recovery pending, we cannot do anything of any operation. So that is the reason as setting database in emergency mode. Once you set in emergency mode, then we have to run the DBC check DB. Later in the performance tuning classes, you'll understand more about what is DBC check DB. Just here understand DBC check DB. When running DBC check DB, it will, is there any corrupted pages, corrupted data or corrupted pages in a database. Okay. So integrity check, database consistency check, or maybe integrity check, we can call it. The command is dbcc check db. So in our scenario, only file LDF file is corrupted or deleted, not a data file or data pages. Okay, we don't see any errors here. So for running or for checking the integrity check, we can use db check db, and in the parentheses in single quotes we have to specify the database name, testdb2. So we can see that the query executed successfully. That means there is no page corruption in testdb2 database. In the next scenario, in the page corruption, tomorrow class page restore, that time we'll get the some errors because we need to correct the pages in page restore scenario. Okay. In this scenario, there is no internal database corruption or external corruption is not happening. The third step is that alter database name, set single user mode with rollback. We have to put the database in single user mode. Single user mode means it is only accept only one connection at a time. Okay, we put the database in single user mode, and the second command, this is the important command, dbcc check db and the database name in the parentheses and single quote testdb2 and repair allow data loss. So what this command will do that it will again do the integrity check, and if any identify any corrupted pages or corrupted data, it will ignore the data and it will try to bring the database online. Anyway, in this scenario, there is no data corruption. It will simply execute the query. Again, query executed successfully. And the final step is that alter database name testdb to set multi-user. So this is we are bringing database to multi-user mode and execute. It's completed successfully. Go and verify, and we can see tab 1 and tab 2. Because what will happen? So in this scenario, when you put the database in, when you enable the reset status, and then you put the database in one empty LEF file, and then you can follow these steps to validating integrity, and finally we need to bring the database to online. Okay, so very rare cases we have this kind of problem. So mainly in the development environment, not in the production and staging environment, because we are taking on regular basis on these environments. Okay, so maybe when you get this question, so we are in a situation to record the data, but we don't have a backup files. Can we do that? If we can, how we can do that? So these questions might we can get it. So the first thing we have to verify whether a data file corrupted or LDA file. We depend on the error logs for finding that information. If data file corrupted, we don't have any option to recover, so we would lose all the data. And if it is a MDF file available, maybe LDA file corrupted, so we can follow these 5 steps: exec, SP reset status, put the database in emergency, run the check DB, put the database into single user mode, run the again check DB with repair allow data loss, and then final command is bring the database to multi-user mode. All right. So even when you have a backup, then we always use the backups to recover it. When you don't have backup, we can use these steps to bring the database online. Okay, and so more practical work in this today class. So if you get a time, please practice. When you practice, you'll understand more, and then you'll get more confident about the backup, restore, and recovery. Okay. So these scenarios only applicable for user-defined databases, not for system databases. We have to use we have to follow the different approach for system databases. So that will start in tomorrow class. Okay. Tomorrow class is that system database recovery and then page level restore. So these two things we'll discuss. And if you have a time, then we will discuss about a table movement or table backup, whatever we can call it. So those things we'll discuss. Okay, Andy, that's all for today, Andy. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. If you don't have anything, then we'll wrap up now, and then we'll catch up tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, Andy. Thank you so much for joining. So I'll send I think already I forwarded this document on with the Saturday. So the document name is Restore and Recovery. Restore and Recovery. So you have this document. If you want to practice, you can open this document, and here we can see all the scenarios. Okay. So practicing, if you have any doubt or anything, so please let me know that. Okay. So that's all for today, Andy. Thank you so much for joining. Have a nice day, and then we'll catch up on tomorrow same time. Thank you.